Some legacies are carved in stone, but others, they're built. Patient by patient, student by student, and totally against all odds. Today, we're jumping into the incredible story of one woman who simply refused to take no for an answer and built an entire university faculty out of sheer will. So let's get into it.
So, if you're ever in Makassar, Indonesia, at the Hospital of Dentistry and Oral Medicine, you'll find a hall named Allah Halimah Dying Sikati. And it's so much more than just a tribute. It's this permanent reminder of a really monumental achievement. For most people who walk past, it's probably just a name on a wall. But for those who know the story, wow, it's a symbol of an absolutely relentless fight.
And that really is the question, isn't it? Who was Halimah Dying Sikati? And how on earth did a single person manage to build an entire institution that the powers that be insisted was impossible? That is the story we are unpacking today. So to really get a handle on her journey, we first have to appreciate the scale of what she accomplished. That name is on that hall for a very, very good reason. To put it as simply as possible, without her, the Faculty of Dentistry at one of Indonesia's top universities probably wouldn't exist, at least not the way we know it today. She wasn't just part of its founding, she was the driving force. So the big question becomes, where did this unstoppable drive even come from? So let's go back. Let's look at her origins and see what shaped this incredible determination. Because her story doesn't begin in a fancy boardroom, but in a small town with a family that valued education above pretty much everything else. Okay, so she was born in 1928, and Halimah came from a pretty remarkable family. Her father, a teacher who instilled in her the value of education. Her mother was a strong Bugis Makassar woman. And her uncle? Get this. He wasn't just an independence fighter. He co-founded the Faculty of Engineering at the very same university. I mean, you could say that building institutions was literally in her blood. And she pursued her own education with that exact same intensity. After studying dentistry, she went all the way to New York University, NYU, to specialize in oral surgery. And then in 1960, she made a really pivotal choice. She could have had a comfortable, prestigious career in Java. Instead, she chose to go home, back to Makassar, to serve her community. And serve she did. For the next 12 years, she led the provincial dental health services, just tirelessly working to educate the public about dental care, something that was almost completely overlooked at the time. This wasn't just a job for her, it was a mission, and her biggest fight was still on the horizon. After seeing the desperate need for dental care firsthand, her vision grew even bigger. She dreamed of a formal institution to train the next generation of dentists right there in South Sulawesi. But that vision was about to slam headfirst into a giant wall of bureaucracy. She became a lecturer at Hasanuddin University in 1966 and immediately began her campaign for a dedicated faculty of dentistry. The response from the central government, though, was a constant bureaucratic brick wall. No. It's too expensive. Proposal after proposal was shot down. For almost anyone else, that would have been the end of the road. But not for Halimah. Not even close. And this moment right here, this tells you everything you need to know about her character. Faced with constant rejection, she made this defiant, powerful declaration. If the central government cannot build the Faculty of Dentistry, I will build it myself. That wasn't just talk, it was a promise. And this is where the story just completely pivots. It shifts from a tale of frustration to one of just breathtaking ingenuity. If the system wasn't going to work for her, well, she would simply build a new one from the outside in.
Now, what's so brilliant about this is the sheer strategy involved. She couldn't go through the front door, so she built her own. She leveraged her network, finding a powerful ally in the Navy. Then, since she couldn't create a faculty directly, she founded an independent institute in 1969. Once that was established and successful, it was integrated into the university as a department. From there, she never stopped pushing until it became what she had envisioned all along, a full-fledged independent faculty. Just wow. And her methods were just incredible. Being fluent in Dutch, she bypassed all the bureaucracy and secured equipment aid directly from the Netherlands. In a truly cinematic moment, she spoke with Queen Beatrix during a royal layover in Makassar and walked away with a personal promise of support. She even used her own money to establish a dental hospital. And then she personally flew to the Netherlands to oversee the logistics of the promised aid. She was a diplomat, a fundraiser, and a project manager all rolled into one unstoppable force. After decades of fighting, of refusing to accept the impossible, and of building her dream piece by piece, the moment of triumph finally arrived. Finally, in 1983, 17 long years after she began her campaign, the Faculty of Dentistry was officially established. And in the most fitting end to this story you could ever imagine, the woman who willed it into existence, Halimah Sikati, was appointed its very first dean. Her story is such a powerful reminder that history isn't always shaped by committees or governments. Often it's shaped by one individual with an unbreakable will. And it makes you wonder, how many other essential pillars of our society, our hospitals, schools, and universities, are standing today simply because one person, somewhere, decided, if no one else will build this, I will.